Well, it's time now for us to head to the French Riviera, where the Cannes Film Festival is in full swing. The last of 5 French films competing for the famous Palme d'Or is being presented today. And we can cross to France 24's arts editor, Yves Jackson. Yves, hello, tell us more about that.
Well, it's called The Valley of Love, and it comes from the French director Guillaume Niclou. Now it stars the big French actors Gerard, Depardieu and Issabelle Huppert. The last time those two appeared together was back in 1980 when they appeared in the French film Lulu. Now, the story is about a one-time couple who reunite after 25 years following the suicide of their son. Now, he sends them each a letter requesting them to travel to Death Valley in the United States. Take a look.
Je suis Michael, c'est moi, ton fils. Je suis l'enfant que tu as mis au monde. Et je suis mort. Je suis mort et toi, tu es vivante. Je me suis donné la mort, c'était prévu. Mais je vais revenir, je te demande d'être présent dans la vallée de la mort le 12 novembre 2014. Tous les deux, oui, tu as bien lu, toi et papa. Tu pourras croire à une mauvaise blague, mais je te jure que c'est la vérité.
Il y a un planning des endroits où vous devez aller, le jour précis et les horaires.
Et 14h04. Il ne viendra plus.
The Valley of Love is a very contrived high-concept film that hasn't been much liked here at the Cannes Film Festival because it takes us precisely nowhere. The actors, though, as always, are very watchable, and Gerard Depardieu gives his best performance in decades, I would say, and seems very tender and understated.
Now, the only competition film from a Latin American director is also showing today. Tell us about that, Yves.
That's right, it's called Chronic, and it's from the Mexican director Michel Franco. Now, the film top-lines Tim Roth, who back in 2012 gave Franco a prize for his film After Lucia because he was on the jury. Now, this film tracks a depressed nurse practitioner who spends his time helping terminally ill patients. Take a look.
So what do you do now? Do you have another patient?
Not yet, no. This is me, just you.
Look, do you want to get some breakfast or something? Just talk a little bit more?
I should go.
I just want to ask you a couple of questions about my aunt.
I'm sorry.
And Tim Roth plays very well in this film. He appears in every single shot pretty much. Here he is at the Cannes Film Festival press conference talking about how difficult this role was.
And then it's kind of stripped bare. It's a non-vanity film. It's very much leave your ego at the door, kind of portrayal. You kind of I was worried that the fact of me being in the middle of it would distract from the subject and from the kind of filmmaking that Michel does. That worried me, so I kind of stripped him away. I stripped myself away as much as I possibly could.
There's really only one word to describe this film, and that is depressing. Not one to watch if you want a bit of cheering up.
OK, well, that's clear at least. Now, with all eyes on the Cannes Film Festival, it's a good place and time to mix luxury and charity. Tell us about last night's AMFAR gala.
Well, stars from all over the world turned up on the red carpet to do their bit for AIDS research. The AMFAR Gala raised millions of dollars. Catherine Nicholson and Pauline Goddard have been at the event that mixes glamour and generosity.
Tonight is the night the great and the good get to show just how great and how good they really are. This is the AMFAR Cinema Against AIDS Gala, now into its 22nd year of enticing the A-listers away from the bustle of Cannes to raise money for AIDS research. It's the perfect opportunity to get out your prettiest dress or smartest suit and dust off your checkbook. The fundraising starts on the door. Tickets cost €18,000. That gets you a dinner, live music this year from Mark Ronson and Mary J. Blige, and a chance to bid big at the charity auction.
A lot of the drugs today have roots at some level in AMFAR funding that are used to keep people all over the world alive.
For me, it's particularly important because my cousin died of AIDS, so it hit me very close at home.
I love the auction. I like watching it. I like watching people spend money for a good cause on beautiful, extravagant, opulent things. I love that.
I love the fact that, you know, that it's going back to a good place, because you could easily, very easily spend all that money on yourself.
It's the atmosphere of people trying to be generous, and generosity is also important in a festival like this.
As the Cannes Film Festival draws to a close, some attendees also have their minds on the roles they'll be playing in the days to come.
I don't know how the other juries over the years have seen this experience, and I guess that it's, you know, to each his own way of dealing with what it represents. But I know that it's transformed the way that I see film and filmmaking.
I'm looking forward to the closing ceremony because it's going to be lighter than the opening ceremony. The closing ceremony is faster because people are impatient, they want to know the results, and so you can crack a few jokes and then get on with it.
Since 1985, AMFAR has provided close to €400 million to AIDS research. With big money bids tonight, that total is only going to go up.
Speaking of some big names, join me a little later on when I'll be speaking to the actress Sienna Miller, who's on the Cannes Film Festival jury. You can see that interview in the Cannes Rendezvous at 9:20 p.m. Paris time.
Eve Jackson, thank you very much for that, and we'll come back to you for some more Cannes magic later today.